Welcome to the first episode of the Walk On Podcast. I'm Luke, and I'm here with my boys, Jared and Tommy. How are we feeling today, boys?
Excited, man. I'm fired up.
Yeah, always good. Always
Long
good.
time coming. Long time coming.
No, I know this has been something we've talked about for a while. I know I've me and Tommy have talked about it for a while, and then when we got Jared involved, it's just taken off, and we finally put it into motion. But I'm really excited. We're just gonna set a little basis for what the show is gonna be like. Who we are, how we know each other, where we come from, what we're doing now, kind of our mindset with things. And then we got a couple of segments that we're going to touch on. That's going to be a weekly thing. But, we're just going to go ahead and start off with a couple introductions. So I'll start. But basically, like I said, my name is Luke Avdalovich. Hopefully, I'm sure the people that are listening to this early episode, are most of our friends and stuff. But for those who don't know, I grew up in Folsom, California. And for the most part, people around California or NorCal specifically know Folsom because they're football at Folsom High School, and I didn't go there. And that's the first thing that everyone asked me. So that's a tough one. But you see Vista jersey behind
Jersey
me.
in the back. Yes, sir.
We represent the
Eagles
Eagles.
nest.
It's pretty bad. But I'm gonna start the story off from sixth grade because that's when I met Jared. That's when I started working with Jared. So for people who don't know, Jared is my trainer and he's Tommy's trainer as well. But when people ask me about Jared, I say he's more like a big brother to me. Like at this point, and I'm sure Jared would agree, our relationship is way more than just trainer and player at this point. And like the fact that we've sat down and decided to do a podcast, I'm pretty sure that's testimony to what I'm saying. But we started in sixth grade. I was working with someone else at the 24-hour fitness out there in Folsom, and they ended up leaving. And Jared was like the new guy, and so he kind of just put him off to me, and that was where we started. And I was a little kid growing up. At that point, I was still playing soccer. I was kind of just like one of those kids that my parents threw me in every sport and kind of figured it out from there. So I was a soccer player and a basketball player. That was the zone buster days, as Jared likes to say.
Client
Playing
number
for
one. Client number one of Jared.
Did
Yeah.
not move from the top of the key at all.
I feel like I found my little wing slots, and then sometimes I was a baseline runner if they ran zone. But
Short
So
corner
you're
kind of
gonna
guy.
overload.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Real
So
special.
that was effective. It was an effective play at Harvard Palace. You can't lie.
Hardwood.
But basically,
bro.
yeah, man.
Purple division, shout out.
Court one.
Bro, I
one.
told
wins
you.
only.
Hey, they're wins. We had medals from those. Those medals got thrown away a couple weeks ago, but we had medals from those.
What is it?
But,
Extreme hoops on the
Yeah.
medal?
yes, it is. It says first place though, so I can't. You can't knock it.
I
But
gotta
exactly. So yeah, we worked out at that 24-hour fitness. I mean, at this point, I'm just a kid who loves basketball, like I said, and we're going. And then I'm just gonna fast forward to high school because there's really nothing that much special that happens. Jared will get into his story, but there was a period when Jared had left, and then boom, he came back. But high school is kind of when it all came together. Um, I'm gonna fast forward to sophomore year because freshman year, nothing really special happened. I played freshman for half the season, got moved up to JV with half our team. I'm gonna mention some names because you're probably gonna hear from them on the show eventually. Will and Grant. Grant actually stayed down. Will and Chris, they got moved up. Vance, I don't know if Vance will be on the show. He'll be listening, hopefully. But Will and Chris and Vance and I got moved up, and that was about halfway through the season. And we had a different head coach at the time, and we all kind of thought, sophomore season we're gonna be on the varsity team. It's gonna be our team, this core that we had, and like we were thinking Grant was gonna be up there with us. And it was just we had a lot of things going for us, and then there was a coaching change and everything, but it's high school that happens. So new coach comes in, sophomore year comes around. Like I said, I was definitely really hoping to play varsity, and I was still playing soccer at this time. And I hadn't made a decision which sport I like really wanted to run with, and so I played soccer, and that ended up kind of biting me in the ass a little bit with the coach. But whatever, I played on JV. That was a tough one to swallow, especially with Will and Chris being on varsity. Those were basically my two best friends at the time, and like it was tough. But I was still a little kid. I say it now. If I show everyone my license picture, if I were to be the coach, I probably would have cut that kid too. He was about 5'8", 140 pounds. Yeah, like that's not a varsity basketball player, but
That's
I mean,
still wild to me.
it's nuts. No one believes me. Everyone thinks it's a fake, which doesn't make any sense. But
Yeah. The phone calls I used to get from your dad daily were like just complete stress that you're never gonna grow up.
I feel like I've told you this though. It was a valid worry. Like it was a valid worry.
Yeah,
And like
Dr. A
my
was
dad's Dr. A. I mean, hopefully we can get a Dr. A appearance on the show at one point. But Dr. A is a big dude. My brother was always big for his age, but I was definitely really small at this point. And like whatever, I had a pretty normal JV season. It was pretty good. And I still didn't really grow into that AAU season. Nothing really special was going. I still bread and butter was just catch and shoot. Nothing, that's one thing that I can say that's always been with me, but nothing special again. And we go into the junior year and like I finally started growing a little bit. I'd say maybe about 6 feet. And like early in the season, we were all pretty young. Like I said, Will and Chris played varsity, but for the most part, most of us were pretty inexperienced. We had Grant Lomolino in there, who was our vet, and we surprised people that junior year. That was a big year for us. We made it through. We beat what were we, the 7th seed in sections, beat Capital, made a pretty big run, and that was kind of pretty dope for us. And then like those,
is that the half
Will was
Yes, that was a Will.
Shout out to Will.
Will.
Shout out to Will.
That's like everyone talks about like core memories. That's like a core memory in high school for me. Like that's something that like when you talk about high school basketball for me, it's like Will hitting that half court shot and everyone rushing the court. Like that was crazy.
Yeah,
On the road too, right?
Huh?
On the road too, right?
At Capital.
And
at Capital.
Nice. Yeah.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah, it was insane. It really should have been on Sports Center. He got robbed of that, but
yeah, facts.
It's beside the point, But yeah, so we continue to fast forward again. AU season was cool. Nothing special though. We didn't play on any sponsored teams or anything like that. Nothing, none of this EYBL, no circus. Like we were on. I don't none of that. I'm not name dropping anything, but you know what team we were on. Tommy knows what team we were on. And we rolled with that. We made what it was. Jared's laughing because he knows exactly what I'm talking about. But we made it. We made it happen. We had a great time though. I'll say that we had a great time, and I think it really brought us together for our senior season. And we really knew how good we were into that senior season. It was the same group of guys we had. We all got bigger. At this point, I've grown a little bit more. I'm probably like 6'2", maybe 155, 160 pounds. Still didn't lift any weights, but going into this season, my senior season, I would say I was maybe talking to a couple of D3 schools, maybe some NAIA, maybe a D2 here or there. But I mean, Jared knows the story. He was with us. Like there were local D2s that would refuse to, give me the light of day. And it is what it is at this point.
Handed them to you. I was like, he will come here for free and pay his way to play basketball here. And they're like, nah, we're good.
Yeah, I mean, but it's funny now because I don't even know if I've told Jared this, but like at the time, I didn't even know any of that was really like his talks were happening with them. Like obviously, I knew that they were happening. He was like making plays for us, but I didn't know the details behind it, and like I didn't even know how much they were looking at me, how much they weren't. I was just like excited to even like, oh, I'm on an unofficial visit. This is the coolest thing in the world. So like stuff like that, like I tried not to take for granted and like just rolled with it. But really, at this point, I'm applying for schools like.
I want to shout out Coach Pham, UC Merced.
Yeah, that was a real one. That was the first offer.
Yeah, Coach Pham.
He couldn't even. Yeah, he was dope. He really did his work because he
even put you through a workout on the visit himself.
Put through a workout. We played pickup, and he came to a home visit like a week later. Like he was really a good guy. But no, he did know. I will say that. And him
and Brendan Rooney too.
Yeah, Brendan Rooney. That's also a real one.
Right
yeah, he went to so many Vista games.
He was there every single time. And we knew like after the game, he was gonna be standing right there at the end of the tunnel. Like we came and said what's up to him. He was, no, there were some good guys, but like, I don't know, for the majority of us, like, I mean, that's gonna be the story with a lot of the people we talked to. I don't want to say overlooked, but it was just kind of like we didn't have anything flashy or nothing that like really caught people's attention, and it is what it is. But we had a really good high school season, and we just kept playing with it. And my computer's tweaking right now. There we go. I'm back. Basically, I'm applying to schools, like I said, and I'm thinking, college basketball might be out the picture, and it is what it is. I'm very lucky that I come from a family that's fortunate enough that was ready to put me through school no matter what I decided was my interest. And my dad, being a doctor, really stressed academics and making sure I was on top of that. So, I had a really good GPA coming out of high school. I had pretty good test scores. So I was in a position where I could go to school somewhere that I was going to have a good time. Like my thought process was, I'll try to try out or, be a manager or whatever, try to be a part of it. If not, I'll play club, whatever. But, it was hard because like I really truly love the game. And like there's a reason why those of us that are still doing it still do it. Like we truly love the game. And we there was the first D3 that basically I got into, and they told me if I got in, I would be able to play, was Trinity. And so that was when I was like, damn, I really could play college basketball. So that was like a huge moment for me. And I remember talking to my mom about it when I got in. It was nuts. And like it was this D3 in Texas. But I was ready, like I said, ready to just make do with whatever I could. And I would say it was about first round of playoffs, actually. Jared, that's correct, right? It was against Fairfield.
Yeah, first round. Yeah, it was like right around middle of April maybe.
Yeah. So we it's first round of playoffs. Like we're rolling pretty high. We actually had a really bad senior night. That's another great story. Jared chewed us out from the stands. But we had a really bad senior night, but like we already had playoffs clinched and everything. We already had the league title clinched. So we go into playoffs with a pretty good seed, and like we came out firing this game. And little do I know, Jared's talking to Northern Arizona about one of his other guys that he's training, and they were talking about, oh, is anyone else that would they be willing to walk on? And he gave them my name, and they were actually in town. It was like a perfect storm. They were in town to play Sac State that night, so they came and watched the first half. And like I remember one moment I had a dunk that game, and that doesn't happen very often. But like I had a pretty solid half. I hit a couple shots, and they left after that. So hopefully, I guess they saw what they needed to see. But
it was one dribble pull up, catch, shoot three, dunk, and they're like, the head coach was like, "We can get this guy as a walk on." I was like, "Yeah, like no brainer."
Get the job done.
Fundamentals, man. Nothing. Yeah, they just left. And so shout out to Coach Murphy, shout out to Coach Tuck.
Yeah.
Those two, they really I every single time I talk to Coach Murphy, I thank him because without him I wouldn't even have the opportunity. But yeah, after that they said, go ahead and apply to Northern Arizona. When you get in, we'll make it official. But this is you can walk on.
And grandpa's alumni too, so that was
yeah. My grandpa Papa, he played football at NAU, so and that's where my grandparents met. So definitely in the family, which is pretty dope. But went there, and I remember when we went on like a little unofficial visit. It was during my spring break. Like this is how late it was in my senior year that I didn't know what I was gonna do. We went to Trinity, that D3, and then we went to NAU, and we sat there in Coach Murph's office, and I'm sitting at the desk with my parents, and he sits like, we don't know if you're going to get a uniform. We don't know if you're going to travel. We don't know how much you're going to practice, but you will be on the team. You're just as a part of it as every single other person. And like, you can grow from there. And to me, it was more like I wanted to prove to myself that I could play at that level. Growing up, it was always, people don't make it big out of Folsom. There's such a handful of people even out of the Sacramento area that make it big. And it's like, you're too small, not athletic enough, skills won't translate, all of this. And it's just, whatever. We took it with a grain of salt. I don't think I really ever got hung up on all that. But I wanted to take a chance on myself. I wanted to prove to myself that, I belonged there, and it was something I wanted to see. And so get to NAU the next year. And like, this is when, I met Nick Maines. Shout out to Nick Maines. That's going to be my brother for life. He also was walking on there, and he has an incredible story. So I hope he comes on. He said he would, so he better come on. But
we need a Nick Maines appearance.
No, definitely need a Nick Maines appearance. But he, me and him, we were both walking on. We were both roommates, and we kind of had the same mindset in that, we were going to redshirt that first year. We were going to develop and just kind of have fun with it, and whatever happens, happens. And that year, NAU was awful. We won 5 games. It was not a great locker room. It was not a great team, but I met some of my closest friends. I'm still super close with JoJo Anderson. And he gave me some of the best advice that someone's ever given me. He told me he that first summer when I got there, he kind of picked on me a little bit to see what I was made of, because he thought I was just another little white kid walking on, like wasn't really like meant for this. But he told me, he's like, you earn my respect. And he was like, if I have anything to say about you, it's find something you're good at and be head and shoulders better than every single other person on the court, because then they can't take you off. And for me, like I said, that was shooting. And so that whole year, during workouts, it was just work on getting your shot up quick, working to come off of screens at this level, at this pace. You're going to have different athletes guarding you, getting the shots up and everything. So Coach Sanchez, that was our redshirt workout, and Galen, Coach G, he got us right. Me and Nick we honestly were killing as the scout team. Like, we were dominating. And it was a fun year. As much as we were losing, it was a fun year. And like, I really started to get the feeling that like I could play. Like, I didn't think I was going to be anything crazy or anything. Like, I wasn't expecting anything, but I was like, I think I have a shot. Like, I know what I can do. I think I can help the team. And so the next year rolls around, and like, this is when college basketball kind of hits you in the face, right when you start thinking, I have a spot on this team, I have a role, you get recruited over. And that's just the business. And like, people are gonna it's always gonna happen in college, and you just gotta keep putting your best foot forward and just work. You gotta trust the work. And so I remember having that talk with Coach Murphy, and he was just like, you just got to keep working, and when the opportunity comes, take advantage of it. And he's like, I don't know when that opportunity has come, I don't know what it's going to be, but be ready to take advantage of it. And that's kind of exactly what happened. So I played the first game. I played 14 or 15 minutes, I want to say. I was 3 for 4, had 9 points, 3 for 4 from 3, that is. Solid outing, and I'm feeling myself. I'm like, I was seventh man, second off the bench, good 15 minutes. I was like, this is a good role. I could do this. Like, I came in, hit some open shots, and then I didn't play. Really, I played like a combined 6 minutes for the next 7 games, I want to say. And that's when it was really hard. And I got a DNP against Utah Valley. And I was like, dang, man, like, it's tough. And the team, like, we were winning some games too. So I couldn't really say much, but like, it was like, this tough, but it was about the work. And we came to San Jose State, and the guy ahead of me, the wing that started, gets a concussion in the first minute of the game. And Coach Murphy puts me in. Now I don't know. I honestly don't know why, because there were like 3 other guards that have been playing more than me, but maybe I had a good week in practice. Maybe it was because family was at the game, but he said, Luke, go get in there. And I had one of my best games in college, honestly. 20 points, 6 for 13. Like, it was a really good game. We ended up losing, but I was like, that was the first time I really felt like, and I think I played like 33 minutes, 34 minutes. I was gassed, but I was like, I can do it at this level. It's proven now. Like, I did it in a game against a Mountain West opponent. It's possible. And I ended up starting the rest of the games for that season. In the middle of January, we actually just beat Idaho State. Actually, we came back, and we had a really good practice. Whatever, we got called into the film room, and earlier in the year, Coach Murphy had told Nick that he was getting a scholarship, and we kind of had our moment with Nick. So we go into the film room, and Nick was like, or Coach Murphy was like, Nick, we just want to give you your scholarship papers in front of everyone. And we all cheer for Nick, and like, I was super happy for him. It was a great moment. But then Murph stuttered, and he was like, compliance messed up. They got one here for Luke, and the whole room erupted like this. It was nuts. And I honestly, it was a surreal experience. And I just remember like being super emotional. Like, I was crying. I don't care. You guys all know me. I'm an emotional kid, but I was crying, and I signed the papers with Nick, and like, I'm so glad I was doing it right next to him. But I remember calling my parents, them being super excited, and it was just like a huge moment. I called Jared too later that day. It was just like a nuts moment, and like, it was almost impossible to believe. But I just remember almost being like, now I got to prove it. Like, now I got to make sure that they didn't make a mistake. Like, I know that I solidified myself as a player at this level, but I got to prove they didn't make a mistake. Like, that scholarship was supposed to be mine, and I finished the year strong. I was depending on what website you looked at, I was between 2nd and 5th in 3-point percentage that year. I averaged about 9 points. I was 49.3% from 3, and yeah, it was a really good year. And then the rest of my college experience at NAU, it was good. It was a big learning experience. We had a coaching change. A bunch of relationships were made, and by the end of my 4 years, when I got my degree, I decided I was ready for something new and a new experience. So I hit the transfer portal, and that's kind of a crazy concept, and I'm sure it'll be a topic on here one day. But it was a cool experience too, because I really didn't get that recruiting experience during high school. So, and it sucked it was during COVID, because I definitely would have milked my visits. I would have taken all 5 of them, but I didn't even have the chance. But Coach Stoudemire here at Pacific was one of the first that really he really reached out to me in more than just like a stat on a piece of paper. He reached out to me, wanted to get to know me as a player, get me to know me as a person. And it was close to home. And again, it runs in the family. My mom and her sisters all came to Pacific at one point. My mom got her master's from here. So it felt right. So I decided to grad transfer to Pacific. And yeah, last year we had a tough one, but I'm excited for this next year. I got one more year, 6-year vet. I'm
6-year vet.
a little too old for this, but I'm excited about the guys we got in the locker room. We got a really good group of guys.
Drive the rental cars now, though, when you guys go on the road.
I'm a responsible man. I think
No, legally. I mean, we know that you're responsible, but legally.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But we're just hoping for a big year in the WCC. It's going to be a pretty big year for the whole conference. So we want to win, and it's my last year. I've only had one winning season, and so I really want to go out with a bang. So I'm excited to attack this year, and I know. Jared's right there with me. I know Tommy's right there with me. We're gonna be in each other's ears the whole time, but I'm excited for what's in store. But I mean, I kind of rambled there for a long time. But yeah, I think we're gonna kick it to Tommy. Give me his story here in a second.
All right. Well, I can't say that mine will be as lengthy. Luke has 3-4 years on me. I don't know, something like that.
Couple.
But basketball for me, I started probably we'll pick up here in 6th grade. And I mean, I'm only about 5'11", 6 feet right now. So 6th grade, you can imagine I'm like 5'3", maybe 5'4". I'm like pretty serious about basketball. Not crazy serious, but like I like basketball. Probably my favorite sport. Go out for the 6th grade team, Rolling Hills Middle School, El Dorado Hills, California. That's where I'm from. And I get cut. Not a shocker. I mean, like, whatever. It is what it is. Happens. I'm sad about it. Blah, blah. 7th grade rolls around. I'm still playing basketball consistently. Head to the tryouts again. Super confident I'm going to make the team, because why wouldn't I make the team? I'm a 7th grader now. They take 10 7th graders and 5 6th graders. That's just how it goes. Get cut again, even though I felt like I had the best tryout of my life. Doesn't make any sense. I'm shocked. Just completely gutted. And basically I from that moment on in my life with basketball, especially, I just was like, nobody is ever going to work harder than me. Nobody is ever going to take what's mine. Like, I'm going to go get it and I'm going to make this happen. And so I just started going to the gym every single day. I mean, I didn't meet Jared till, when did I meet you, Jared? Freshman year, sophomore year?
Yeah, like going into freshman year, like right after freshman year ended.
I didn't have a trainer. I didn't have anything like that. I'm just in the gym, like shooting the ball all the time. That's what I was good at. That's what I had to be good at. I'm small. Just doing that, literally like living in the gym, like hours on hours on hours for no reason at all. Just because I was bored and I wanted to be good at basketball. Like, that's all it was. And 8th grade comes back around. We got basketball tryouts, and like in between all this, like I'm playing AAU, all net, what it is, in the Hardwood Palace tournaments, like getting it in. And 8th grade comes around, and I make the team finally, and I'm like, it's pretty clear that I'm one of the best players out there from the jump. Like, we start the season, I'm playing okay, like whatever. And I think it was like halfway through the year, my 8th grade coach, shout out to Mr. Johnson. I don't think I've ever told you guys this. Probably don't know who he is, but
no idea at all.
He's the man. He comes up to me like halfway through a game and he looks me in the eyes and he goes, you have to look to shoot the ball more, because probably honestly till my senior year, Jared, I didn't shoot the ball nearly as much as I should have, ever.
Oh.
And he comes up to me.
Max 9 shots in a game.
Max, maybe. He comes up to me and he goes, you have to shoot the ball. Like, we're not going to get any better if you're not shooting the ball. We need you shooting the ball. Then the next game, I think I had like 27 or something, just pulling relentlessly. Like, and I'm like, wow, like I can actually play basketball. Like, I'm actually pretty good. Like, I can really do this. And that just, my confidence never wavered for the rest of the year until we go back around to 8th grade AAU. I think I'm in the clear from getting cut from basketball teams by this point, right? Bam, cut again, 8th grade. Don't know why, it just happened, whatever. I'm shocked. Like this was the craziest. Like I remember I get the text from my mom. I'm in 6th period science class, 8th grade. She texts me and I'm like, I'm just sitting there like, what? How is this even possible? Like it doesn't make any sense to me, but whatever. It's just that's a pretty tough battle to go through, especially as a middle schooler, like coming off pretty fun 8th grade year and then just getting cut from a team you'd been playing for 3 years now, probably 2.5 years. So same thing. I kind of like was like, I really just got to put the time in. Like that's all it is. Blah blah blah. We go. Freshman year comes around, and my mom worked at a local private school, and this is when Jared was spending a lot of his time in El Dorado Hills, up at Marble Valley. We've had our good amount of training sessions there.
Great battles out there.
Yeah, a lot of battles. Good bump out there, especially during COVID.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway,
The games were relentless.
so I mean, freshman year, before I met Jared, freshman year comes around, and like I'd been putting in work all summer long. Like I'm ready for a big freshman year, and I think it was my first ever high school game. I get fouled on a 3-pointer. Like I'm balling this game. We're down 2. I get fouled on a 3-pointer. I go to the free throw line. There's no time on the clock. I hit all 3 free throws. We win the game. Like I'm feeling myself. I think I'm the best player in the world. Whatever. Fast forward a few weeks later, my knee had been bugging me for a while. Like something was off. Like I couldn't really explode. I'm not crazy athletic as it is. Kind of have sneaky right foot bounce. You'll find that out soon. But I'm not crazy athletic as it is. But I could not even explode off my left foot. And I'm like telling my parents, like, there's something wrong with my knee. Like, we need to go get this checked out. So we go to the doctor's office and we get these x-rays back. And it turns out I have a condition called osteochondritis dissecans, I think it is. And he basically told me, yeah, like, we don't know if you're ever going to be able to play basketball again. Like, it was like, it was so basically what it is the cartilage is just getting like chewed away by something. The blood flow cuts it off and it's like killing the cartilage in my knee. And so I had to get put in a leg immobilizer for like 6 weeks, I think it was. I'm on crutches, middle of the freshman season. That just sucks. 6 weeks on crutches. The 6 weeks go by and it's already unknown. Like I might not be able to play again. We'd never know. Get the 6 weeks off, we get the x-rays, and my family were pretty religious, so lots of prayers were said. The x-ray comes back and it's good. For some odd reason, it was gone. It was good. I'm like, okay, like I'm ready to play. So I go back out. I start playing again, finished the freshman season strong. I think, finished freshman season strong. Fast forward to the spring of my freshman year. First game at Hardwood Palace, court 1, 8 a.m., loose balls going. I dive on it, break my wrist. So that's like, I don't even know, 6 months of basketball, and I have 2 serious injuries. I'm in a cast fully up my arm to here, so I can't do anything. Most people, when they break their wrist, they just get one to here. You can still play basketball. I can't move my arm. I can't bend it. 6 weeks. Now everybody's calling me injury prone around the school. I hate that. Bothering me. I'm like, this is horrible. I never want this to happen again. And I do remember telling everybody, I'm like, I wanted to get it. I'm like, I just wanted to get my injuries out of the way early. Like that's all it was. So luckily I recover fine from the wrist. We move on to sophomore year JV. I have a great year on JV. And keep in mind at this time, I'm probably only like 5'8",
Baby guard,
20 pounds, 125 pounds, maybe.
But this is probably when I met you around this time.
So that's where I was gonna go. And so
Yeah.
Jared had been training out at Marble Valley where my mom works. And I was working out with one of my guys, Josh Jackson. He's the boy. I worked out with him for a long time and he ended up moving. So I needed to find someone else to work out with. And I started working out with Josh probably freshman year. So I worked out with him for about a year and he was great. We got great work in at Folsom Cal Fit. I'm honestly surprised I never saw Luke there, but
I didn't go there until like my senior year.
yeah, lots of work was put in there. And so I remember specifically, like Josh had moved and I remember I go to see my mom at her school and Jared's in there training some sweet dime. I don't know. And he looks at me and I don't really know Jared. And he looks at me, he goes, hey, like, and he knows my mom. And he's like, when are we getting in the lab? And I'm like, shit, you tell me, like, let's
That's
get
such
it.
a Jared comment, by the way.
Yeah,
Like,
like, we don't really know each
because
other.
this dude rolled in with probably had his Vans on, but he
Exactly.
Creased out the backs because he's
Absolutely.
eyes.
So
Beat
still
as
what he
hell.
rolls into the gym with now.
That's
That's
what I'm
what
saying.
you're
It's just like, bro, you look like a bum. You need to get better.
Hell yeah. So Jared's like, when we get in the lab, I'm like, all right, yeah, like let me know, like whatever. I tell my mom what Jared said. She's like, yeah, like we can definitely do that. So I go to a workout with Jared, some Sunday night workout with Jared and Rashid, because that was what
When
it
you're doing the
was.
academies,
The
yeah.
academy, yep.
Yeah.
And Jared, like I'm working out with Jared and it's going well. Like I'm working hard, like I always do. And then I think it was that was probably in like the winter or something.
Yeah.
Summer rolls around and Jared texts my mom and he's like, yo, like I want Tommy to come work out with the older guys. And at this time it's Luke, Will, Grant,
Chris was
Kenny,
still playing,
Chris,
still around.
who else?
Alec.
Alec was there.
Yeah,
Tyus
Al
is
was
showing
there.
up every now and then. So I remember it's the first time I work out with them. I show up and this is probably my freshman or sophomore year. So I'm still tiny as hell, like no muscle, just small, like little skill, nothing special. And I still remember that first workout to this day. It was the afternoon workout and we played ones. It was like right wing. And I just fried you guys on the right wing. Like I went like 5 straight buckets. You guys were like, "Who is this guy?" I remember telling my
Genuinely
mom,
do not remember this at all.
yeah, you wouldn't remember this because it's not
Donlin
important to
wasn't
you.
there, was it? Matty Donlin wasn't there, was he?
I don't think he might have been, but I don't think he was there for that workout. But I like it was like the 4th game of ones. I'm getting no wins previously, probably barely scoring any buckets. It's like
Look at that, Luke, you're getting fried.
No,
And
I
I
do
go-
remember. I do remember one Tommy story though. He hit like a deep 3, and this might be the same workout. I don't know. It was early though because we all didn't know Tommy's. Like we knew his name was Tommy. That's it. We didn't know anything. And he made a deep 3. Then Jared goes, his last name is Ball for a reason. I said, okay. And this is like during the Ball Brothers era too. So I'm like, yo, what is this guy talking about? Like, who's this kid? But yeah, that's so it might be the same workout to be honest.
it probably
I don't
was.
remember getting fried though. I don't remember getting fried.
I just remember I went like we're playing to 5 or something. I go 5 straight, like hitting crazy shit, hitting things I'm not supposed to be hitting at this point in time. I remember I go home and I tell my mom, I'm like I won one of the games, like I won one of the games, like I'm telling her. It was a great time, whatever. Fast forward, we're in the lab, not every day that summer, but probably like 3 times a week, I would say.
Yeah, 3 to 4.
3 to 4 times a week. Like I'm getting bullied consistently by them.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and that was the last win Tommy got.
Yeah, I didn't get another win for a minute. I'm taking Kenny Macklin shoulder buffs to the chest.
Kenny
all
Macklin
summer
left hand
long.
step backs all summer
God.
long.
He's just I'm just getting abused. Junior year rolls around, and this was definitely our best team of high school. Not my best year, but a fun year. And so I'm like, and honestly, my story is crazy because like junior year comes around, and I'm still not even consistently a starter on the varsity basketball team. Like I'm in and out of the starting lineup, starting sometimes, not or not.
Young Draco squad.
This is Draco. This was prime Draco. And so we like, I think we get pieced up by Sheldon in the first game. I probably had like 5 turnovers or something. I don't know. Like I'm like just like, whoa, like what is going on? Whatever. Fast forward, and I start to play well the junior year. I finally like end up solidifying that starting role, and then we just start winning a lot of games. We go to the Rancho Mirage tournament where it's all super popular, or I don't know if it is now. But it was
like Palm Springs.
Palm Springs, yeah. When I was in high school, it's super popular.
Yeah.
And we win our bracket, and like I have like in the semifinal game, I think I had like 22 or something. Like I go for like there's 22, probably 6 threes, like Luke, just clipping them from deep. But and then we played De La Salle in the final, and De La Salle that year was 3rd in the state, and like they're filthy, just a good team. And we beat them. I have one of the better games in my high school career. I don't remember Stalin, but I played ridiculously good. Drake plays really well. Jacob played really well. Like it was just a fun game. We beat them, go on, win a few games in the playoffs, fun wins, whatever. Senior year comes around, and I'm like, yeah, like now it's really my time. And mind you, I'm not really playing AAU with anyone, like not venturing past Hardwood Palace often. So my recruiting is literally nothing. Luke was talking about a few unofficial visits here and there. Like I don't have anything. I don't know if Jared was trying. I'm sure you were texting people, but like I'm not playing for anyone, so nothing's coming out. So we're going to the senior year and played a few AAU that summer, but like I said, no colleges are really reaching out. And then I'm just like, me and Jared both talked about it. We're like, you just really have to kill it the senior year. Like you got to wake up, shoot the basketball, and have a great senior year. And I did just that. I don't remember what the stats were, but I have a really, really good senior year, hit shit ton of threes. And
Shot a really good percentage, average like 18 and a half.
yeah, 18 and a half during league. I think
Tommy was getting to it.
I shot like 40% from three. Mind you, I'm still only like 140 pounds. I'm still this
Baby guard.
big. I'm still this big. And so I think I go to a few camps that summer for some D2s or whatever. And Allie, my sister, who we'll learn about here, she lives in Pocatello, Idaho, and she works at Enterprise. And the Idaho State coaches are coming in to rent cars all the time for the trips. And this is like middle of my senior year, and she keeps telling this same coach, the boy Chris McMillan. Shout out to my guy, I love that guy. She tells him, yo, like, my brother is good at basketball. Like, you guys should look at him. And he's like, okay, like, have him email me, whatever. Like, probably thinking nothing of it. I emailed Coach Mac earlier in the year, and I'm like, look, like, I just want to play basketball. Like, well, like, let me know what the roster looks like. I'm gonna walk on, like, do this. I'm gonna earn my way. And he hits me back. He's like, I don't know what it is right now, but we'll keep in touch. Like, blah blah blah. And fast forward, I'm just training with Jared every week, like just getting better, having a fun senior year, killing it. And I think February comes around. It's kind of like Luke's story. They didn't come to watch me play, but Idaho State comes to Sacktown to play Sac State. And I reach out to Coach Mac. I'm like, yo, like, I'd love to meet you guys. Like, I want to come to the game. He's like, perfect. So Jared, I think you went to their shoot around.
I couldn't go to the game, so I had to go to shoot around in the morning.
Jared goes to shoot around, talks to Mac, tells him about me, whatever, blah blah.
I've known Coach Looney, the head coach, for a really long time.
Yeah. So I go to Sac State, and I text Coach Mac. I meet most of the coach staff, but me and Coach Mac talk for a good amount of time, like probably 20 minutes. And that was that. He's like, just keep in touch. Like, we'll stay on you. And I remember specifically, I email so it was like the last few weeks, it was February. So it's the last few weeks of the season. And I just have a stretch where I'm just best basketball in my high school career. I had like 3 games in a row with like 27, 30 points, 7 threes, like just cooking. I think we lost to Folsom, but I gave Folsom buckets on their senior night at Folsom. So that was a great feeling. And I just email him those games. I go, like, this is what I've been doing. I've been killing it. Like, check me out type thing. Email him those games. And literally a week later, I'm in practice. I see my mom show up to practice, and I'm like Stacy is never at practice. Like, what? Like, why are you here right now? And like, we're going into the playoffs. And I walk out into the hallway, and I actually check my phone, and it says, Tommy, this is Coach McMillan, Idaho State. Give me a call. And I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, this is real. Like, Luke, you probably know how it felt that first time they offered you whatever it was, and it's just a crazy feeling.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and like
it's nuts.
And that was that was the only coach that ever offered me anything. And so I get on the phone, I give him a call. He calls me, tells me what the deal is, like, and the plan was to come in. I'm still 145 pounds. I'm still not putting on weight. He's like, we're gonna need to put on weight before you get here. Like, probably like, you're definitely gonna redshirt. Like, this is what it's gonna be. And I'm like, word. And then COVID hits, and this is when we were getting the Sac State workouts in. Like, my COVID was straight. This is my COVID straight. Wake up, watch an episode of Game of Thrones, down an unhealthy amount of food, work out with Jared, watch more Game of Thrones, work out again, eat more food. So I put on, I think, like 20 pounds in COVID. Like, I go from like 140 to 160. And so like I put on a few muscle, and then I get to Idaho State in the summer of 2020, and been here ever since. That redshirt year was, or that it was not a redshirt year because of COVID. And it's kind of like a weird, what I basically tell people when they ask is like, I basically did a prep year at Idaho State. Like, it was kind of like what it, like, I'm learning how the college system works. I'm learning how the college program is, how to compete. I'm on scout team, cooking, just doing me, getting bigger in the weight room, getting way stronger. I came back that first summer, and everybody's like, who the hell is this guy? I remember Zach was like, what, like Zach Pearlstein goes, they got you carrying hay out there in Idaho? Like, where'd you get these biceps from? And I'm like, man, like, just working. That's all it is. And then the next year comes around, we had a solid year. My first year, first winning season in Idaho State in 28 years. We swept NAU. Luke got hurt in the first minute of the game, unfortunately, but
We don't gotta talk about it.
we got the job done. And so first winning season. So we had a good year. So everybody came back. So we brought 14 guys back. And I'm talking to Jared. I'm thinking about, I'm like, we brought 14 guys back. Like the initial plan was to redshirt. Like there's no reason to not redshirt. Give myself more time to just get bigger and better. Redshirt year goes. Didn't have a great year last year, but still a great experience. And here we are now, year number 3. I'm still putting in the time.
He
having a
still
great
hasn't played one official game.
Yes, sir. Third year freshman.
Third year freshman. I mean,
Yes. You might as well take your
Look.
Mormon mission, bro.
That's
what
we got a
Coach Lenny-
6-year vet and a
Coach
third
Lenny-
year
Coach
freshman.
Lenny says I went on a basketball mission. So yeah, a lot of summer work has been put in this year, ready for a big year, man. I'm excited for what's ahead. I'm excited for what's in store for myself, for my basketball career. We go to Panama here in a week. We might get a Panama episode in. But
Yes, sir. I
that's
think
where
we
we're
need
at.
that.
That's where we're at now. I mean, I guess I did talk for a little longer than I anticipated, but
It's good stuff, man. All
ready
good.
for the
I-
future, man. Ready
to be honest, I
so
learned a
ready for
lot.
the future.
Bro, I learned a lot about you right there, Tom. Because I didn't know you until you were in high school. But like,
Yeah, you didn't
I
know
feel like-
nothing about the injuries or anything
No,
about
I didn't know anything about that. And like me and Tommy, like we were always cool when we would train with Jared when he was in high school and stuff. But I think we really got close when he went to Idaho State.
I
and, like,
definitely should have included that.
I mean, me too.
The walk on connection right there.
I
Yeah,
was texting Luke daily, like just advice, like what, and then we would just chop it up. That's when we really became tight.
Oh, that's really what happened. And I
That's
mean,
when
I don't
you're
know,
in the
it's crazy. The Big Sky walk-ons, between I feel like me and you, like it's
Me and
kind
Will,
of
yeah.
nuts the way it's all worked out. But
Yeah.
no, that's really when we got close. So shout out to Jared for that. Really bringing people together, not
Bringing
even
it
meaning
in. We
to.
got to get Will on here for some more
100%,
Big Sky walk
100%. Yeah, and for everybody that doesn't know, we call him Thomas, but his real name is James. Oh,
James, yes sir, Jimmy.
My
James.
real name's James. Whatever. We don't. Yeah. All right.
James, the third year freshman.
Big things are on the way, man. That's all I'm
All
saying.
right, yeah, man. All right, Jared.
All right,
The reason why we're all here, Jared
Yes.
Waters, man.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's facts.
I'll tie it all in. Try not to take too long. These guys are just, boring all of us out here. But no, I'm just kidding. So
you.
my name is Jared Waters. I founded a company called KI Hoops. It stands for Killer Instinct, not K1 or not anything else ridiculous you might hear. It's Killer Instinct Hoops. I started the company in 2015. I've been training in Sacramento since 2011. So going on year 11 now. Just kind of my story is real similar to them. I think this is probably why we have such a deep connection as friends in basketball, and just the pure passion for hoop is, I grew up in a town, Vacaville. People out here would know it. It's simply based on the outlets. We used to have a good Nike outlet there. Now it's pretty bad, but there was outlets and an out. And so that was kind of the stopping point. It's halfway between San Francisco and Sacramento. The town is a lot like Folsom in the sense of football and wrestling dominated, like the athletes. Like if you played football at Vaca High, you were a big deal. Obviously, a couple guys that I went to school with played in the NFL. They won a couple state titles. They won, I think, the year after I left, but won, I think, my freshman year too. The wrestling team won state like every year. They were ridiculously good. But basketball was kind of an afterthought. Not really no like top tier players to come out of there basketball wise. I don't even think we had a Division I player out of Vaca High for as long as I know, play basketball at least. So anyways, so I grew up there. Basketball wasn't a big thing. My family is from the Midwest though. So my dad and his side grew up and went to IU in the Bobby Knight days. So it's like all kind of in the blood in that sense. But anyway, so just I did a lot of stuff, just like what Luke was saying. I did a bunch of crazy stuff. I won a couple BMX nationals when I was in middle school. I played comp soccer.
You
I did
see.
I did all kinds of weird stuff. But once I got to like eighth grade, or I think it was seventh grade, I just told my dad. I said I want to stop doing everything else, and I just want to focus on basketball. And that's kind of when I kind of just took my own training per se to a different level, and my dad pushed me at a different level. But same thing. I mean, I was tiny when I was a freshman. I was like 5'5", 110 pounds. Played freshman basketball, and then grew a bunch. Then played JV basketball, but because I was still uncoordinated and growing a bunch, being like 5'11", and then grew a little bit more, and then my junior year, right before my junior year started, I was playing pickup, and I went up to dunk, and there was a wet spot on the floor that someone didn't clean up. And when I planted my leg hyperextended, and then the way that the doctors explain it is that the muscles contracted so violently that it literally broke my tibia, and then fractured my tibia plateau. So my leg, like I got like a little bit in the air, and then I fell down, and then I rolled over. Like my leg breaking dislocated my patella and my patella tendon, and so my kneecap like dislocated in my thigh, and there was like a hole where my kneecap was supposed to be, and then my leg like cinched up, and then like was just like the worst pain. And then I sat on my couch for 3 days playing Halo and waiting to get surgery. And so then once I got surgery, and when I was getting surgery, there was I'll never forget Dr. Meehan, Dr. Ferguson. They straight up told me, they're like, you're never going to play competitive basketball again. This is just like too drastic. The scar on my knee, you can't obviously see it. It's an 8-inch scar down my leg. I got 4 screws, 22 staples. I was in an immobilizer brace from my hip to my ankle for 2.5 months. And I just like, obviously any ideas of recruiting or any of that stuff gone, and didn't play my whole junior year of high school. Was able to start playing a little bit of basketball again, like that was in October of my junior year. My junior year, was able to start playing a little bit, but like my leg had atrophied, which all the muscles had shrank, and I was just super weak. And kind of similar to Tommy's situation, I had a coaching change my senior year of high school, and things just didn't go like as according to what I would say would plan. But the one thing I will say is that when I was sitting after I had surgery, and I was like crying and stuff in my hotel or my hospital bed, and listening to what the doctors had said about me never playing, I just made a conscious decision in my brain that I was going to prove them wrong. And that just, I already worked hard, but that really just took my work ethic to like a whole different level. And that got me into lifting weights because I couldn't like play basketball. And so, then senior year was a wash. So obviously, back on, I'm way older than these guys, but when I played like post grad prep school, that stuff didn't really exist on the West Coast. So everybody in California, just either if you didn't have the recruiting, or if you didn't have, a lot of guys didn't have grades, or if you got in trouble or whatever it is, you would go to play junior college. And back then, like junior college, like you had to pay. There wasn't anything like to pay for your junior college and all that stuff. So went to junior college, Solano. Shout out Coach Nagel. John Nagel is a great person, great coach. Just insane amount of energy, and just really kind of helped me fine tune a lot of the skill stuff that I even work on now, and just really focusing on specific things. Played there.
Best part about that is I am now teammates with John Nagel's son.
Who
Shout
I've
out
been
Jay Nagel.
Jay. I've been training Jay since probably eighth grade too, I guess.
Who would have thought that the two KI members to become college teammates were ones that didn't meet until he came on his official visit?
Yeah, that's crazy. Real
Exactly.
KI fam stories right there.
Yeah, real
Facts. I told the coach, I said, hey, like, he probably knows who I am. I know who he is, but we have never met. But I promise you, the ties run deep.
Exactly. So so I go to junior college, and then didn't play much my freshman year. Sophomore year, I played a little bit more, but we were really bad. We didn't win a lot. But I finally started off my injury. It took me like 2 years to kind of feel back to normal and feel like somewhat athletic to my level of athleticism. But again, we didn't have a great year, and so I didn't have a lot of recruiting. I had some D2s that were interested, and I took some visits on, and then I got into UC Santa Barbara, and I decided that, okay, well, I want to try to go walk on. So I went there. I spoke to the coaches. They wanted me to come in. I went in there to go walk on. It just didn't work out. There was some stuff outside of basketball, some stuff in basketball where it just didn't work. And so I ended up deciding that I was going to transfer. I wanted to just go play for 2 years and see what happened from there. So I was looking around, and this is a funny story. I don't even know if you guys know this story. I was saying like super late in the year, didn't have any offers. I didn't play, so I redshirted, and so I was talking to a coach from San Jose State. He was like, "Hey, there's this school across the bay. They just went D2. They might be looking for guys." And so I pretty much told him, it's like, all right. So I was living in Santa Barbara. I drove up from Santa Barbara to Cal State East Bay, which was the old Hayward State. I drove up there. It was like open gym on a Sunday. There was like 30 guys in there, and I just like, I didn't know what to expect, but I just went out there and played my game, did my thing. And the coach had never met me or seen me, and he's like, he just offered me a scholarship on the spot, and that's where I ended up going. And then I had 2 years there. I was real up and down. Didn't play a lot my junior year, and just had a lot of turnover and with players. But I made some really good friends. And then my senior year, I played it a lot. Really had to battle and fight and earn for minutes and things like that. Coach trying to take my scholarship, and everything that goes into that in college athletics. But overall, I got done playing there. And then I played. Got an opportunity to play professionally. I played in Italy 2 seasons, and then I did a tour in China, and those were really really good experiences. And then kind of what happened was I kind of fell into the training stuff. I got really lucky, but I was living in Folsom at the time. This is after I got back from Italy, and didn't know what I was going to do, and try to keep playing. That's when the NBA lockout happened, and it kind of like threw everything for a loop overseas. All the NBA guys started taking the top jobs, and then the top guys took the middle jobs, and that kind of just trickled down, made it harder on people like me who had no name. But I kind of fell into training. Again, exactly what happened. I was just up at 24, and I started working as a trainer. Didn't really know what to expect. First kid they gave me was Luke, and I remember we had to be on the skinny court at 24 Hour Fitness because there was no room. And so
In the
I was
back
like,
corner.
yeah, back corner. That's literally the width of like the lane line, maybe like 2 feet outside the lane line. And there's a gigantic
Seriously.
hole for the main hoop, like on the right side. So like it was wild, but I'll never
Real
forget.
reps were earned there.
It was weird because at that time, that was like, yeah, 2011, Ray Allen wasn't like the Ray Allen of the Milwaukee Bucks, Ray Allen. And I asked Luke who his favorite player was, and he was like, Ray Allen, I want to go to UConn, blah, blah, blah. And I thought that was a very odd answer for a white kid that was 5 feet tall from Folsom, California. But the focus level is what I saw, and the desire to want to be great. And honestly, I can say it out loud. Like if it wasn't for Luke and like Grant and Will, like I probably wouldn't have been doing this still. Like Alec and Kenny, because I met Alec and Kenny who played at Caltech and SF State not long after I met Luke. But it was like those guys that like really instilled my love and passion for helping other people achieve their goals and their dreams as far as basketball is concerned, and then beyond. So then from there, I started training, and pretty quickly I found like a real aptitude for it and enjoyed it, and really saw the value in it. And obviously someone that was still trying to play, it was like an easy schedule wise way to make money and still be able to train myself and be in the gym and all that good stuff. And when I finally decided, well, I guess then I met some other guys. I met a couple other players that were like, ended up being really, really good players. And I started training DJ Wilson, who ended up going to Michigan and then got drafted. And then a bunch of guys, and I started training Marquise Chris, who went to Washington and got drafted, and kind of when all that stuff started happening, I started figuring out that maybe I'm done playing, and maybe I'm just going to try to focus on this and turn it into a career. And kind of now looking back, it was the best thing that happened, because I was able to, one, be able to meet guys like Luke and Tommy and all these guys, but I also, like, it allowed me to get a jump start on something that was going to serve me for a long time, as opposed to trying to keep playing and scraping by for 5, 6, 7 more years. But so anyways, I did that, and then I kind of went off on my own and started KI Hoops in 2015 after I went to LA and did some coaching down there. It wasn't my thing, and just decided I need to get back up and get back with Luke and all these other guys. And again, now we're 11 years in, and it's been a crazy ride, and there's so many stories that you guys will hear and things that have happened in between and people we've met. And again, I'm like Tommy said, I met Tommy, and that kind of just started growing the next generation of Lukes and Wills, because Tommy's carrying the torch right now for the old guys. Luke is, will be one more year, and then he'll be super senior graduated. But yeah, that's kind of, for me, the main thing was like trying to help guys like Luke and Tommy, who just were like me in a lot of ways, where they got overlooked, and they didn't come from a place where basketball was prestigious, and they just honestly needed help from someone that went through all the stuff that I didn't want them to go through. And that's kind of the main thing that pushed me through all this, is like, I want to get as many kids to college as possible. If we can do that with basketball for free, then that's ideal. And that's kind of where things have been and where things are pushing. And, we got a lot more work to do and a lot more things to achieve, but these guys are solid as they come, and I'm super fortunate and blessed. And again, shout out Stacy and Jim, shout out Mark and Michelle. Like I tell people all the time, I wouldn't be where I'm at without the families and the parents and stuff. So I feel super fortunate on that, and feel fortunate to be even on this podcast with you guys. And again, basketball is a crazy world, and it usually has to do with everything that happens outside of the court.
Yep.
Stuff that happens on the court is just icing on the cake. Everything that happens outside of that is really the crazy stuff. And we're hoping that, we can shed some light for other people, the next Tommy, the next Luke, and anything, whether it be basketball or baseball, football, softball, soccer, whatever. Like we want to try to help everyone realize that even though you might not get the recognition that you think you deserve, like if you stay true to the work and really dedicate yourself to whatever your craft is, eventually, like, things will work out how they're supposed to. There was no doubt in my mind that Tommy and Luke were going to be Division I basketball players. They just took a little different route. And they're not the only ones. There's thousands of kids just like them we could talk about. I'm sure we'll probably have Ford on here and have Ty on here and have all these dudes that they're from Sacramento that have really made it. And even on my experience, like people like DJ, I mean, Keith was top 10 pick, and he was not even ranked top 60 coming out of high school. So it's like, stuff like that is just, this is what we're here for. So, and some good golf stories here and there, and
Man, the best golf stories.
And now that we're all into it. So anyways, yeah, that's kind of our deal. And we appreciate all the listeners, whoever's listening, and we hope that you get something, whether it's a laugh or some motivation from what we're offering.
This is gonna be really fun.
That's 100%. And like, I mean, it's pretty obvious why we all get along. I feel like you can definitely see the parallels in all our stories, and like where we met up with each other. It all comes together. And I mean, with everyone that we kind of talk to, I feel like there's gonna be a lot of parallels. But yeah, man, we're gonna have a lot of fun with this, and I'm definitely excited.
Yeah, let's get it working.
Yeah. So like we were saying, we're gonna have some fun, and so a couple of our segments, we're gonna roll with every single week, and like this is where we need our listeners on our Instagram and everything to tap in. So we're gonna have two segments, and it's gonna change the topic every single week depending on what we're talking about. But we're gonna have our starting five picks and our walk-on pick of the week. So starting five is pretty self-explanable. You know, we're hoopers. You got to give your 1 through 5. It's not top 5. You know, it's starting 5. So you can put that together however you want. Um, and then our walk-on pick of the week is kind of, you know, something or someone, depending on what the topic at hand is, whoever, something that shines in its role, but we don't think really gets the recognition it deserves. You know, it's a star in their role, but you know, might deserve a little more recognition. So this week we're gonna start it off hot. You know, you heard all our stories. I mean, Jared likes to throw himself in this one. We we're starting off. Yeah, that's crazy. We're going with shooters. So we're going to top our starting.
Jared likes to throw himself.
I mean,
Okay.
The head
I remember a story though.
movement is
No, I
doing it
mean,
for you?
I'm just no Jared. I'm not gonna hold Jared like he can shoot. Like don't get me wrong, but I remember Jared.
You gotta
When
burn.
this is
Come on.
at the 24. This is literally at the 24. This is early training years, and it was like one of the first times Jared like played like pseudo real defense. Like he told me he was playing defense. I'm sure he wasn't because I was a little kid, but he was like, I'm just sitting there trying to shoot the whole time. And he's like, bro, you need to drive. He was like, I was the opposite. They would tell me to stop driving. Like I was just trying to barrel through people. And so, I mean, you know,
Hold
now
on.
he can shoot a little bit because he's been around us for a while, but we know his upbringing. We know his upbringing. But yeah, I mean, so this topic can change, you know. It can be anything random. This week it just happens to be shooters, and we're doing current shooters in the NBA right now. We felt like all time was going to be pretty similar. I don't know if you guys were going to have Peja in there, but you know,
That is
it's all
such a
good.
homer pick. That is so terrible.
That's a
Is the most
great
moved
pick.
$2.
That's an incredible pick. You guys are tripping.
Let's just cut the crap.
I want to hear.
Yeah, and I just want to make sure we know. See, you want to tell stories, but Tommy wants to ignore the fact the first time he challenged me to one-on-one, what happened?
Gosh, Jared won. Blah blah. Move on.
How old were we when this happened?
I was just like sophomore year. Right?
Oh my God, that's a lie.
Bro was so confident.
We didn't play ones.
That
In
was
my
like
sophomore
your
year?
senior year because Keith was in town and you went.
Oh.
It wasn't
7-0.
town.
Oh,
It was
7-0?
7-0.
Let's not say it was 7. It was like 3.
7-0.
It was like 3.
And
Man.
Luke doesn't. And I just want to.
When we get Keith on
Luke,
here, if Keith remembers that day, we
Luke
can
didn't get a win until he was like 20.
Cap. Okay, see now you're lying. I probably got a win like maybe my senior year, but win like with confidence until I was like 20. That's probably more accurate.
whatever, man.
Okay,
We know what
anyways,
happens. We know what happens when you guys are looking across from me in sport court now. From now on, I go crazy. So
Yeah. All right. Until we make you shoot a floater.
butter back of the
We don't want
net.
to get into that.
We
I want
work
to hear
on-
Jared's first. I want to hear Jared's
All right,
starting
mine's-
five for
mine's
shooters
nice.
first.
Mine's
Okay, let's
nice.
hear
You
it.
guys aren't ready for it.
Oh, I'm excited.
Okay. At the one at PG, I got
Yeah.
Steph.
Okay. I think that's pretty standard. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I have nothing to say about that.
At the 2, I have DeMar DeRozan.
Excuse me.
Bro, no, you don't. No, you
DeMar
don't.
DeRozan.
No, you do not.
Okay. I'm gonna give my reasoning real quick.
Bro,
So,
don't shoot threes.
but he's mastered the mid range to the
Okay.
point where it's automatic, and I already have Steph shooting all the threes.
Okay.
So
Dude,
if I need a
crazy.
different kind of bucket, I'm gonna go like if you had to pick one person in the league to get you a mid range bucket right now. At the two, who you
I
pick?
mean,
That's
no,
a fair pick.
I'm not. I just took it a different way. I just took it
Yeah.
a different way. You know, when I think
Definitely
shooters,
not what
DeMar DeRozan
definitely
is
not what I had in mind, but I like.
100%.
I like. Give me the 3.
At
Okay,
the
go
small
to you.
forward, I
Yeah.
got Jason Tatum.
Okay.
Fair.
I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, small forward, Jason Tatum. At the 4, I got Trey Murphy from New Orleans.
Oh, he got a burn.
Wow.
That's a good pick. That's a good.
That's
pick.
a great pick.
That's a
Strap.
really good pick. He has a burn.
That's a really.
And
good
at the
pick.
5, I have to sadly say I do have Carl Anthony Towns.
I knew someone was gonna do it. And I didn't think it was gonna be Tommy. I didn't think it was gonna be Tommy.
I
He
had to
might
do
though.
it. I mean,
Tommy's a big
percentage-wise,
Carl Anthony Towns fan.
I'm a big cat guy. I won't lie.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna
Shout out to
give
Cam
up-
Sheldon. I know Cam Sheldon's a big cat guy too.
Yeah. No, so that's my starting
right.
five.
That's your starting five. Is man, Tommy, how are your feelings on his
Okay,
starting
let
five?
me
Yeah.
preface this by
Oh God.
I had maybe an hour to prepare for this. All right. Didn't think too
Hey,
hard.
Jared,
I've
he's
been
gonna be.
taking
He's
care of
gonna.
kids. I've been taking care of kids all day long. It's
His
Camp
shit
Week in Pocatello.
sucks. His shit
He's
sucks.
bro. He's gonna try to get the sympathy vote now. Like, oh,
Yeah.
Tommy
I
didn't
don't
have
want the
enough
sympathy
time to
vote,
put it
but,
together.
you guys are gonna love it. The backcourt. I'm a diehard Warriors fan. We all know this. Give me the Splash Brothers all day long. Steph and Clay.
Okay, heard you.
Burners. All right. We nothing more needs to be said. Nothing more needs to be said. We move to our forwards. Jared went with Jason Tatum. I wasn't expecting that. I got Paul George at the 3.
I like that.
Okay.
Paul George is giving you a bucket from anywhere, and his shot is pure. I don't care what anyone says. That thing is money.
Okay.
Right.
The 4. See, this is where I was a little basic. I could have
Oh,
gone better,
yeah.
but give me
I know what you
KD.
did. I knew
Give me
it. I knew
KD.
it. Again,
Give me
Oh,
KD.
so glad.
And
I didn't
this
do it.
this is where I throw it for a loop. You guys aren't going to expect this one. Holding it down in the middle. Give me Brooke Lopez.
I knew it. That's. I mean,
dude, your picks, bro.
I love
that's
Brooke
cool.
Lopez. I
That's
love
cool,
his game.
bro. I kind of
You don't like-
early thoughts. I like Tommy's better than Jared's.
That's crazy.
No, see, I played it safe today. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I played it safe today. I could
The
have gone
DeMar
a little
DeRozan
crazier.
pick to me just.
The
threw me
DeMar
off.
DeRozan pick is
Okay,
absolutely insane.
Let's
It's
hear your two
absolutely-
then. Let's hear your two then.
All right,
I want to
all
hear.
right.
That's
All right,
only because, that's because you only shoot 30-foot Ragers. You don't have
And ready for my starting five. So at the 1, Steph, I feel like we're all synonymous there. I knew this was gonna happen. If anyone said otherwise, you're stupid. So
I mean,
Steph at the
I
1.
could have seen
At
like
the
Trey
2.
Young from you. I don't know.
No. At the
he
2,
would do some dumb stuff like that for sure.
Joe Harris at the 2.
I don't mind it.
my.
You look like him.
Come on, bro. We're talking
about my pick.
pure
pick.
production. This
My
guy, he's not gonna. He comes in, he knocks down shots, point blank.
You
Period.
said current NBA players. He hasn't played in 17 months.
Bro, look at the stats over the last 3 years. I don't want to hear that,
Oh
bro.
my god.
Percentages
last
through the
year,
roof.
We said current NBA.
He's got a
Okay.
burner. He's got
Okay,
a burner.
but with that being said, and I have this as my 3, but you could say the same thing about Clay. All right, bro. But I have Clay at the 3. I think
Great.
if
He is
we did an
transitioning
all-time-
to a 3. He is transitioning to a 3.
I didn't preface this. I have a small lineup. But so
Freshman.
Clay at the 3.
Lopez is eating.
No, you'll see. But yeah, I feel like the only reason why I wanted to go a different route, but the only reason why I did that is because if we did all time, I feel like I would lean towards Clay being in like that conversation. So I feel like I had to put him up there. So Clay at the 3, Joe Harris at the 2, crazy wings. At the 4, Duncan Robinson. We're rolling small. I told you.
Oh my god, bro.
If we're talking pure production, in terms of catch and shoot.
Your
getting-
production. He
I might leave.
didn't
I might
play
leave.
the entire playoffs.
and I'm aware of that, but we're talking shooting top 5 or starting
Is
5.
he still getting his DHO 3s at the 4? I just don't know.
Yes,
No,
yes,
he's not.
yes,
He's not.
yes. We're running a 5 out with our big
whose
fella,
handoff is he running
big,
off?
big fella running at the top. Bobby
Who's the
Portis
big-
at the 5.
Oh my
Bobby Portis at the 5. If you don't think Bobby is moneyballing that from 5, come
At
on.
least if you're gonna have a lineup that small, at least put Jokic at the 5.
No, see, that's too no. Bobby Portis with the headband specifically.
Hey, all I know is that your 5 is the worst by far.
No. And if
You're
we want to
shooting.
pure shooting. Put us, bro.
You got Bobby
have
Portis?
Bobby. What's so confusing about that?
I'm in shock.
Bobby
I don't know if
Portis.
I'm more.
He's got burner. Bobby Portis has burner.
He does, but like,
Yep.
I
I
just
love my
didn't.
starting 5. I love
Your
my-
starting 5 is ass.
Duncan Robinson at the 4 is crazy.
Listen,
Bro.
we're just gonna outscore our team, and we're gonna score in
Your
3s.
team
every
is going to
single
get
time.
scored on every possession.
This isn't a defensive starting 5. This is a shooting starting 5.
Oh, that was so bad. You know what, Tommy? Hey, I'm real happy with your picks now, Tommy.
Yeah, I thought I went a little too
big.
Come
basic.
on, bro.
This guy threw Duncan Robinson at the 4. I am just
Oh, so
Bobby Portis?
yes, with the headband. Come on, man.
Bro,
let's
not even winning the
let's
game.
transition back.
Bro,
Luke.
we're talking about 3-point shooting. We're talking about okay, I get your shooting argument, DeMar DeRozan, whatever. But we're talking about pure shooting.
Yeah,
That's
knockout. Knockout is a shooting game. You would lose.
My team is not losing. Hell no. Joe Harris isn't hitting the rim the whole time.
Bro, this dude Bobby Portis gonna slam it off the backboard.
He's not our main threat, but he
Bobby's
can get
got a
strap
burner,
out.
but it's just not what I expect.
Nah, I'm just kidding.
That's nice, bro.
Let's go.
All right, Jared, walk
go.
on pick.
Walk on pick. All right. So again,
I feel like Trey Murphy would have been a great one for this one. I can't believe you put him in the 4.
yeah, because I think he's the best shooting for young guys. You know what I mean?
He's legit.
I'm mad
That's
at-
a
I'm not
great
mad at
pick.
it.
I'm not
So,
mad at that pick.
I
at
took
all.
a different route with the walk on pick, and
Right.
I'm gonna explain why. So my
Oh,
walk on
yeah.
pick is Dorian Finney-Smith.
Okay.
So undrafted.
Right.
So speaks to us.
Right.
None of us are drafted.
That's for sure.
Shot 39.5% this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hell of a Western Conference semifinal.
Hell of a, guarding Devin Booker, guarding Stephen Clay. And he's one of the main reasons, if not the main reason, why Luka has space on the wing.
I like the pick. I
So
like that pick.
Luka doesn't get the same room to operate and get to rest on defense without Dorian.
Right.
And he,
I'm
as
not
an
mad at it.
undrafted player, he just signed a 4-year, $55 million deal. So I gotta give him a shout out.
Okay. I mean, shout out to Dorian Finney-Smith. I mean, I'm not mad at the pick. I think I like the reasoning and everything.
Good pick.
I think mine's better. All right, Tommy, what you got, man?
I don't know. I'm just gonna get straight to it. My guy, he's not definitely didn't go undrafted, but he has an absolute burner. Cam Johnson.
Okay.
I feel like anytime I see that guy shoot the basketball, it's not gonna miss every single time he lets it go. So I mean, Cam
I like
Johnson people know who he is, but I still feel like he's more than just a shooter though. But like I said, whenever I see that dude shoot the ball, I think it's going in. I think he shot 44% from 3 this year, something crazy.
Is he going to be shooting in a different jersey when the season starts?
That's the question. That is the question. So
All right, Luke, let's hear
Cam
your
Johnson.
terrible pick.
So again,
I'm gonna say
you know,
Kyle Guy,
so basically,
Sacramento Kings.
I took this walk on pick as someone who I feel like has produced at a high level, but doesn't get talked about in that conversation. Taking Buddy Hield as my walk on pick. This guy, if you talk about numbers, if you talk
Hey,
about
Luke
numbers,
is a Kings fan, by the way, if you guys didn't know.
hey, it's pretty obvious at this point. Buddy Hield,
Guy
listen,
just loves pain.
You guys see the Sacramento painting in the background? Yeah.
yeah, man. Look. But this is not a bad pick. Like I get the arguments on my starting 5, but like I know the route I went, and I think it's a strong 5. But I get the arguments. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. But this one is tough. If you look at the pure numbers, if you look at the volume of 3-pointers that this guy has made in his time in the league at whatever age, he's continuing to hit these milestones. I feel like it's just something that doesn't get talked about because when you're in Sacramento, you don't get that recognition. And so he got traded. He maybe no, he's at Indiana.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think Buddy Hield, people don't want to give him that credit, but
That's a solid pick. That's a solid
Thank
pick.
you.
I'm not
Thank
so-
you.
Of
you.
course it was a King. Of course it was.
All
Yeah,
right.
it had
I
to
was
be.
gonna go. Yeah, no, of course. I was gonna go
Why
with
didn't,
Matt Thomas.
why didn't you put any current
Matt
Kings on your
Thomas,
top
I
five- starting
like-
5, though?
Huh?
Why didn't you put any current Kings on your starting 5 though?
I mean, Kevin Herter almost got the 3 spot. Kevin Herter almost got the 3 spot.
Over Klay Thompson.
Matt Thomas.
Yeah, I told you.
Great walk.
Yeah, Matt Thomas was my backup walk-on pick because
Yeah,
he has a burner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness,
Great
he
looking
has a
shot.
burner.
Shoot.
But yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean,
I think Cam
mean-
Johnson beats both of them in a shooting competition, but solid pick.
so Buddy Hield.
I don't know. None of them miss. So
Nah, I mean, but yeah, I like. I mean, I like. I like all the picks.
I'm going with Doe. So I mean, Doe's gonna take care of the squad.
That's why you run your front office and I run mine.
Yeah. And we
So-
see what happens. The
our
team
camps seem to view things a little differently.
Yeah, that's
We
cool.
just know what kind of front office you're used to seeing, so we know how
Yeah.
questionable.
Yeah. That's a great Jared.
I don't-
Jared, I couldn't have said it any better.
You
Couldn't
know,
have said it any better.
adversity, fellas, adversity.
22 years. Luke,
Oh,
they haven't
I
made
don't want
the
to hear it. I
playoffs
don't want to
since
hear it.
they're
I don't want to
alive.
hear it. I don't want to hear it. I've heard
They
that.
haven't made the
Playing this
playoffs.
year, Mike Brown.
That's cap. That's cap, Jared.
You haven't been alive.
Yes, they made it in like 2004. I was born in 98. You forget how old I am.
6-year bet.
Were you
What?
watching basketball back then?
Yes. I remember back at the Stewart Street house. Come on. I was tapped in. Yeah, see, you don't want to do that. I told you. First Kings game I ever went to, they were playing against the Vancouver Grizzlies. Mike Bibby game-winning shot. I remember it like it was yesterday. Me and Dr. A were at the game.
I hope you see the playoff light of day. I really
Yeah, we
I hope
will.
you don't.
We will. Wrapping things
DeMar
up.
DeRozan. DeMar
Yeah,
DeRozan.
no, I don't know, man. I don't know. That one might be as wild as Joe Harrison, but and
No,
Duncan
Duncan
Robinson.
Robinson.
Duncan, yeah, your team actually is so suspect.
But if we're talking pure shooting, come on.
All right. Yeah, but there's variants of shots.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
There
I
is.
get. Yeah,
There
I
is.
not on my team.
Probably the best mid-range shooter in the league. So
Yeah, but wrapping things up, Jared, you got any rounds planned for the anytime soon on the course? What are we talking about?
Well,
Anything special?
I shot a beautiful 83 last week.
Pop it
So
up.
I'm gonna hang my hat on that for a little bit. I'm still chipping though, 50 chips a night. You know,
There we go.
that's what
love
gets you
that.
right.
I love that.
There we
That's
go.
gonna be the slogan. 50 chips a night get you right.
50 chips a night gets you.
The walk on pod.
Yeah, yeah. But
Tom,
I was definitely attacking the pins. So
as you
Great
should.
time. And 83 is a great score. Is that a PR?
PR
It
baby.
is. Definitely is.
Incredible.
Should have been a 78. But
It's
Bro
been a while
wanted to
since I
call
hit the
me.
course. You know, I'm more of a mini golf guy right now. But
Yeah.
that's right. You just avoided paying for Slurpees.
I
mean,
did.
come on.
I
A
did. We've
W
got
is a
running-
W.
We've got a running thing here. The summer thing has been mini golf. Loser has Slurpees, and I'm good on the last 2 rounds.
What about you, Lucas? Are you hitting the range tomorrow?
Maybe there's actually a high chance I hit the range tomorrow. Come August, like 14th, I'm going to be in Tahoe for a week, and we are playing multiple rounds.
Yeah, you're
So-
playing Edgewood for like
Incredible
40
vibes out there.
Oh,
for
and
sure.
Edgewood for Chris's wedding. Man, I am excited
Chris's
for that one.
wedding.
Yeah.
We'll have to get
That's how
Chris
I
on.
know. That's how I know I'm old, bro. I got another guy.
Chris is getting married.
Yeah, man.
What?
I don't really want to get into that, but I mean, this was a great episode. I mean, I feel like we laid the
Way to
foundation.
kick it off.
It was a long one. I apologize, but
Long one.
I think like after this, me and Tommy were saying, after this, we're just the ball's rolling now, and we'll just have some real like natural, organic conversations based on whoever we have in here, whatever's going on in the world, and we'll go from there. But now you know us, now you know our stories, and hopefully we got a couple listeners along for the ride, and we're excited to see where it goes. But
Yes,
yeah,
sir. Yes, sir.
Long episode, but absolutely necessary. The groundwork is now laid.
Yeah.
100%.
No.
All right.
All right, everybody.
Until next time.
Yeah.
Appreciate everyone.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
We're out of here. Peace.